Tony with Team Saw Boys coming at you guys with my first deck profile. Played in the PPG Houston 1K this past weekend, kind of the last tournament before the ban list takes effect. Wanted to go over what I ran, in that tournament. Kind of just gave blue, the way it currently is, one last go. Decided to play Vegeta ramp. Really like this leader. I like it better than something like SS4 Reboot for the simple fact that you just don't have to nuke your hand in the beginning of the game. You get to keep a high hand total. So let's get into it. The leader attack, draw a card once per turn. When you do damage with your leader, you can look at the top card. If it's a mono blue card, you put it in your energy, so you get to ramp. When he awakens, same effect. Still draw a card when attack, but when your opponent activates a counter, you get to restand him. So he's kind of relevant. Get an extra 15k swing in. Kind of just put a little bit extra pressure. Just solid all around. I'm sure going to the next format, taking the Bojack engine out, we'll definitely try to figure out a way to keep this leader around. Going into the main deck here, played the standard blue 1 energy, draw a card, cantrips. Kind of just run whatever you feel like you're comfortable with. I really like the 2E Supreme Kais. I probably should have ran a third and just did 3 and 3 because this is kind of relevant against the Kid Icarus matchup. I really I didn't run the other Borgos because this one has barrier, and so there's a couple times throughout the tournament where people would couldn't interact with this, so it got to stick, even if it was an extra 5k or just something that stuck around where the other ones don't have barrier, don't have no protection. But these Supreme Kai put in some work. I got some cards out of my opponent's hands when they try to play stuff on my turn, and they couldn't really plus. They can just go for 1 for 1. Probably the best card early turns is the Kamehameha. Same concept. One mana, 15k, draw a card. But you're almost guaranteed to get that damage in. Nobody's going to combo out turn 1, turn 2 of something like this, so you're guaranteed to at least get 1 or 2 damage in. Super combos I decided to go with were the Zenos. Instead of plussing, you get to pretty much add whatever you want. This adds extra busters back to your hand. This adds Trunks counterplay, unison, just let you toolbox your energy for whatever you put in there. It kind of protects stuff too, so if you're going up against hand control, you can charge your suit, your hatch or something, and try to use it, grab it later if you absolutely had to. Ran 3 Trunks counterplays. It's Trunks, probably one of the best counterplays. Just kind of return anything to your opponent's hand, make them waste extra energy to replay it. Unison lineup that we went with, standard, 6 unisons. You got the 4 Boos, 2 Son Gokus. The Boo is mainly what you want to play early. You establish this, draw an extra card a turn, untapping the energy, so it just makes a lot of your plays live with your busters and your Bojack plays. The Son Goku, I really like that a lot. It gets around barrier. You get to send all your opponent's cards back to their hand. Kind of resets the board. Kind of slows the game down a little bit. So you get to kind of set your opponent back a turn, so you can kind of set up and get to the 7, 8 energy, so you can play some of your bombs. 2 Obunis. Really like Obuni. I had multiple people forget that you can't KO him when he has tokens, so I had a couple people swing it to him, combo, try to kill him, and just didn't do anything. It's just Obuni hasn't been played a whole lot, so sometimes people forget about it, and he just kind of saves you, and applies a lot of pressure early, especially if you have the Boo Unison out, so you get to untap 2 energy a turn. Bojack package, I ran 3, 3, and 3. Just kind of standard, control the board, free combo if you're tapped out, so you're really never fully tapped out. You always get to, have something to do with your energy. this card came in so clutch. I got to get, around some of the stuff that people were playing to try to counter me, like, the Borgoses, so I couldn't bean or anything like that. This just kind of controls it and puts it back into their deck. Going into some of the bombs that we played, 2 Vegeta. This helps you ramp. It's draw 4 cards or draw 2 cards, put 2 in your energy. So on turn 6, I play this, put 2 to 3 cards, so it would set me up for a Tragedy Overground. Win it against a mirror match and, establish Tragedy before he did. So, all of his bombs were couldn't play them, and then I got to play my stuff for free pretty much. 4 negates, standard blue, Dimension Magic, best negate that you could probably run in here. Sparking, untap 2 energy. Really doesn't really get any better than that. 4 beans, it's blue. You're going to run bean. You're going to want that extra energy. You're going to want to buster into a bean to play your Bojack and give your leader, 5k for the turn. So it's bean. You can't really say too much about it. 2 of the sparking play a blocker type negates. This came in clutch when people try to stall me at 5 life where I couldn't awaken. Deals with 2 attacks, and it's a 10k if they don't attack and they don't get rid of it. It's a 10k swing, so it can be it can put some pressure on Xeno Unisons or an unawakened leader. So it's just kind of put in a lot of work. 2 baby counterplays. This card came in super handy multiple times. Someone will try to negate, or I used it to get rid of a Bojack with barrier, or just whatever barrier card that they played. It's a solid card. You can go in with it, triple strike, and replaces itself. You can't really say too much about that. Some of the 7 drops I decided to play. Basically the theme of the deck, ramp, so you get to 7-8 energy, so you can play Turning the Tide and reset everyone's hand. I ended up signing this out a lot because I knew people were going to side into Jiren's, and I wanted them to have a dead card in their hand. So game 2 and 3 I tried to establish this and Tragedy, and just kind of put a lot of pressure with that and the Boo Unison, and just kind of win the game that way. But game 1 I usually try to play this and Turning the Tide, and there's just nothing they could do about it. Last card of the deck, Hatch, best secret rare probably in the game, especially for blue. Just do whatever you want, tap out, overextend, and you just have Hatch to slow the game down and save you a turn. Once you see Hatch, unless you're going against yellow or green, you're gonna survive that turn usually, and it gives you another turn to try to kill. That was the main deck. 54 cards. I really liked it. If I was to change anything, I would probably just lower some of the ratios between the East Supreme Kai and the Borgos. Maybe try to run the 6-drop Master Roshi that lets you draw a card and has crit. I just couldn't get any before the tournament, so I decided to go with a couple different cards. But hopefully next set, we figure it out. It's gonna, blue's always been one of my favorite colors. So I'm sure that, the mid game will change a little bit. The beginning and the end of the game is essentially the same. Gonna try to, deal as much damage and play your bombs. So you just gotta figure out how to get there in the middle of the turns. Side deck, I'll go over real quick. Obuni tokens, best card game. So I went ahead and took a chance, put the board on the side. I knew that some people would try to play, sell Xeno. I didn't play a single hand control the whole day. But if I'd hit this off the leader anyway, I was pretty much, at such a negative just playing against hand control that if I hit this, I was losing anyway. So I just felt like, hey, I take a gamble. If I see it opening turn, I draw into it. At least I have a way to protect my hand. Went with 2 Zeno unisons. Kind of just reset the board. Get deal with green and deal with if someone decided to play King Cold, I can deal with their field spells, things like that. Just also I put it in against Gogeta Xeno player. They probably try to play a bunch of 1-drops, and then on turn 5 I just tap 5 and put everything back to their deck. You know, 2 of these Android 18s, just trying to make sure I could draw cards if I needed to. I never played a hand control deck, so these are the Deboras that come in, but it was just in there in case I needed them. Something to get around barrier. You could counterplay or play this. They can't negate it. They can't negate the skills, and you get to return their Bojack. So you catch a Kid Icarus tapped out, you could just tap 4 to return it, and then they're kind of just dead in the water. Probably the favorite card in the side deck, Absolute Confidence. Kind of just they can never all in you on a unison or a low cost battle card. It did win me a game. One of the guys I was playing didn't realize this card existed in blue, and so he kind of went all in on a mirror unison, gave a double strike, and then this just killed it because it only had 1 marker and it reset everything. 2 Barrier Hopes, just to still deal with the Kid Icarus, but really any big threat, you just draw 2 cards and make them waste energy to recast it. 1 Mafuba, just wanted to see if deal with a card, the yellow Frieza. You can't really get rid of it, but you can Mafuba it, kind of just survive a turn. Last card on the side deck was Riot Javelin. Just something to try to get rid of bounce some cards that were giving you some issues, but these never really came in. All in all, I had a really good experience. Lotus runs really good tournaments, and it was a fun deal. Hope we bring some more back. Want to give some shout outs to our sponsor Pro Mats. They made this Salt Boys mat that we all rock, and really nice quality. Man, they put in a ton of effort to make these mats really nice. Want to shout out my team Salt Boys, man. They helped me get ready for the tournament, and we just been play testing. And want to shout out the venue Lotus Gaming Shop, man. They put in ran a really good tournament, ran smoothly. Got started on time. Not a bunch of time wasted or anything. So we, the tournament kept moving. All in all, man, that was it. That was the deck. That's the side deck. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.